EU fishermen suffered a painful blow after Norway's Supreme Court ruled in favor of Oslo, tightening its grip on snow crab catches. Despite Downing Street calling a mutual compromise, it does seem Prime Minister Boris Johnson capitulated on one of the most contentious areas of Brexit trade talks, fishing rights. The UK wanted any fishing agreement to be separate from the trade deal with access negotiated annually in a similar fashion to Norway's agreement with the bloc. Norway is an independent coastal state, with the rights and responsibilities under international law associated with that status. Stocks shared with the EU are managed through annual bilateral negotiations. Each autumn these talks set total allowable catches on the basis of scientific advice. This contrasts starkly with the position of the UK fishing industry within the EU's common fisheries policy, something the EU wanted to maintain at all costs. In the end, the UK agreed to a further 5.5 years of predictability for fishing communities, with the UK leaving the Common Fisheries Policy (CFP). Stock quotas for UK fishers will increase over a 5-year timeframe, incrementally between now and 2026. This means Britain will fish just over 66% of UK waters, in stark contrast with Iceland, which catches 90% of its own fish. During the transition, EU fishing vessels will still have full access to fish in UK waters, and after that, negotiations will be annual just like the ones between Iceland and the bloc. However, the EU will be able to retaliate with tariffs if Britain refuses to grant it access, meaning London will never be fully in control of its waters. Despite being outside the bloc, even Norway had to fight tooth and nail in order to protect its waters. In 2017, a dispute was under development over fishing rights on snow crabs in the area around the Arctic archipelago. The Norwegian Coast Guard arrested the Latvian crabber senator on suspicion of an illegal catch of snow crabs on the Norwegian shelf in the Svalbard Fishery Protection Zone. EU authorities had granted 16 vessels permission to engage in snow crab fishing in the Svalbard waters. Norway's former fisheries minister Per Sandberg told VG, "This is about the Norwegian continental shelf, an area which is under Norwegian sovereignty. If there will be more ships in the area, they will be arrested." The minister confirmed the two sides would have sat down for talks on how to find a compromise. At the same time, he stressed, "We will not give them a single crab." A compromise was not found, and 2 years later, the Norwegian Supreme Court concluded that snow crab is a so-called sedentary species and that Norwegian authorities consequently have exclusive rights to manage the crab stocks in the waters around the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard.